Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Cosmo Muse and this week's reading. I am just keeping it simple this week, just channeling a message from Spirit that it feels you need right now. Something coming through with that. I was kind of called to this theme because the time I'm doing this reading, we're kind of at a new moon phase, which is this time of setting new intentions, but also sort of letting the old fall away. It's very spacious time, letting go of the old, making space for new seeds, new things, new, very inward kind of wishes. It's like when you plant a seed at first, it's like a very inward place. And I'm feeling just that spacious energy and just wanting to channel a general message that we might need. So definitely feel free to pick more than one pile. If you feel drawn to more than one, then you just have more messages wanting to make their way to you. Also, if you are interested in astrology, I just put up the weekly stars sort of blog area on my website. I do a weekly kind of what's coming up in the stars, what's the theme of the week, so go check that out. It's cosmomuse.com, and just under the blogs tab, it's the weekly stars, so go check that out if you want. Also, there is like a paid subscription that is very, very affordable. It's under $5 if you want more like by sign horoscopes and a few little tools and even some like lunar horoscopes. There's a lot of lunar stuff in there as well. So yeah, anyway, let's dive into this. Let's look at our three piles. So pile one, we have the goddess Maya. For pile two, we have the goddess Kali. For pile three, we have the goddess Aphrodite. So take the time you need. Let me just get these straight. I'll get my hands out of here in just a second. Yeah, so take these three piles in. Feel free to pause if you need. When you're ready, timestamps will be in the descriptions, and I will see you in your message or messages. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile one. Welcome to your reading where we're just channeling a message from Spirit, from some oracle cards and tarot. We're going to see what you need to know right now. So you chose the pile with Maya, and she has an association to illusion and specifically disillusionment, like being able to see through illusions that you've held or that have been around you. So things kind of clarifying. That's definitely like a general thing coming through. So we're going to pick a few more oracle cards before I get really specific about the message. Okay, so this is the ocean. Is it the sea oracle? I always forget if it's the sea oracle or the ocean oracle. It will be in the descriptions though. I always put all of my decks down there. So Junoia, distance, turbulence, and reward. Oh, and just right as that came out, I needed to sneeze. I don't think it's gonna come, but that's interesting. Because storm and turbulence and sneezing, that just feels really aligned. Okay, we're going to do the modern Nirvana oracle. Know thyself. Beautiful. That feels very to me pointing towards that illusion, like illusions you've held about yourself, like really clarifying, knowing. So I don't know if it's something specific about you or generally. We'll get into that a little bit more. But I think that there might be some changes going on around you, or you might feel especially emotional, one or the other, or a little bit of both. When there are a lot of changes, we can be emotional, but I'm just getting that kind of energy, like there's something changing, or there's something you're feeling really emotional about, or both of those tied together, that is kind of like stirring things up in you, which is actually helping you to like purify and clarify some things. And it's helping you to see where you've held some illusions around. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to that. Around what? We don't know yet. Something about yourself, though. Okay, let's see the Earth Alchemy Oracle, and that one just kind of flipped right on over. I love that bright yellow coming out. That feels like really positive, like whatever know thyself is, and whatever you kind of clarify and come, dispel illusions about, I think will feel really bright, really hopeful, really energized. It will give you like an energized and clear feeling. But let's see, this golden topaz and yellow rose abundance. Ooh. Raising your vibration, light missions, raw activations. I'm actually going to I brought these books over because some of the decks I'm using, I don't. It's just nice to have a little reference of what the creator means. This deck is always tricky for me to find. I don't know, like the way it's organized isn't super clear to me. I might need to go to the index. Okay, hold on. Okay, golden topaz, page 52. Okay. I'm just going to kind of scan a little bit. I'm not going to read through everything here. It's the Divinity Stone, the golden topaz, holding the golden rays of sun. Brings kind of irradiating a gentle power in all directions, soothing and stimulating around your brain. And that know thyself, there's something with the brain here, like there's something. It's funny because I would think with that energy being around the head that it would be like third eye, but it's actually not. It's like over the crown and over the brain area in the know thyself card. So that kind of matches with something with that brain. Yeah. It will bring a lasting energy that will recharge you for days ahead. It likes to seek out lies and illusions, helping you to recognize patterns of self-sabotage. I don't think we need anything else. That is, so some patterns of self-sabotage. There's something happening in your life right now around you that is churning things up, emotions and changes and just stuff in your life that's helping you to see where you've had self-sabotaging patterns. You're getting to know, you're seeing patterns that you've created or that have been sort of ingrained in you. You're witnessing them, you're uprooting them, and you will come out of it feeling like it was a reward to go through whatever you go through to get there. And I do have this sense. So in the intro, I talked about the inspiration for this reading coming because I'm doing this during a new moon. And so my sense here in terms of timelines is that like this is already happening, and within a week, this message should just like in totality be there. So this isn't like a long-term thing coming in. There's something this week that is turning things up. And by the end of the week, by the time, well, I don't know, you guys are coming whenever, like someone might come here 2 years after I do this. So from now, a week from now, expect to see those patterns of sabotage, especially around how you create abundance in your life, and to dispel those, to see some illusions around something you haven't been able to see clearly, and getting really clear, really clean in your channels, really clean in your energy, and feeling like, this new sense of hope, this new sense of energy, this new sense of also just like calm and purity about something. And I think your brain settling, your mind settling. You're just seeing through something that's really big and powerful, that has, some kind of wiring in your mind, in your thinking, that has likely very unconsciously, because we have illusion here, very unconsciously been sabotaging something around your abundance. Really cool. So that's might have to go through something in the next week that does feel turbulent, but it's clarifying something. So just, go through it, push on through. It's a positive, it's leading to really positive understandings. Okay, let's get some tarot cards around this. We've got 5 of inspiration. There could be something with ego tied to this. Your ego might feel turbulent. Or you could have kind of be surrounded by some infighting that is happening, whether that's like in work. So instead of feeling competitive with like another, say you're at an ad agency and you're competing with other agencies for a job, rather than it being like that, this is like competing with other, I don't know all the terms for ad agency people, but competing with other agents within the agency. Sorry, I don't know. Someone can correct the terms in the comments if you know ad agency, and because it's just a metaphor though. We'll just say like client manager or something. You're like competing with other client managers for the same client within the same agency. So it's like that kind of energy. So maybe it's something, a little squabble in group with some peers, a little squabble in group with family or your household. But also on this deck's card of 5 of inspiration, it's like the same 5 of the same person. So if that doesn't resonate with you, there may be some like different dimensions of you, like different, how we all have different layers and different dimensions. There may be different dimensions of you that are actually like, each dimension's kind of agenda is actually like competing or blocking other dimensions of you. I know that's a little confusing, but if that resonates for you, it does. If that makes sense for you, that does. Like if that doesn't make any sense, just, go to that earlier thought. But there might be dimensions within yourself that are like blocking each other or competing with each other in a weird way that you haven't really seen. And whatever this week brings up, you start to see how like different sides of yourself might be like getting in each other's way. Ace of Materials. Ooh, I love that. And then 10 of Voices. Yeah, you are, 10 of Voices makes so much sense coming up with the brain stuff. That's all about like hitting the wall, being done with a pattern, especially in a sense of anxiety within your mind, within a certain way of thinking. You're letting, like, something has just hit the wall. You've hit the wall with it. You're letting it go. And I think it's a way of thinking or a way of getting in your own way, right? That actually makes a lot of sense. Wording it that way is a little bit more simple. You're getting in your own way, and it's because different sides of yourself have like agendas that kind of, interfere with each other or something. But it's like you're seeing it, you're over it, you're done with it. There's something you're going to let go to let that weird tension out of your mind and body and patterns. And it's going to help you to see, tapping into that abundance thread that was coming through, like a new powerful path towards abundance, like a new, it's like a job offer or a promotion or a business idea or a product idea, something like that, some new powerful seed, materially speaking, that is able to plant itself in your life because of this tension you're letting go of within you, this strange, we all have these types of things, these sabotage, inner sabotaging things we're not always conscious of. Okay, let's get a couple more. Muse of Materials too. So whatever, whatever this new value, powerful value seed that lands, it will likely be around something you're already really good at. So it's not like a new thing that sets you on a course of having to learn how to do new things. It's like a new thing in the realm of something you're already really masterful at. But some kind of new idea, some kind of new, again, going with our earlier metaphor saying you're like in an ad agency. It's sort of like you stop doing weird things that interfere with you getting the clients you like, and you have this new idea that is like completely shakes up how you see your business, how you see your role, and how you see what you can do for clients. And you're able to like market this new idea and really capitalize on talents that like you haven't been able to bring out, skill sets that are like merging in a new way that like it's like it packages all of your skill sets in a way that's really powerful and fresh and exciting and really magnetic. That's, like say you're putting out this new way of wanting to service clients and you market it out there, and it just like immediately brings back like the golden clients you never thought you could get or reach, or and it's just, so that kind of metaphor. Okay, let's get one more card. 8 of Voices. Yeah, stories you've been stuck in, ways you've been limiting yourself and holding yourself back due to stories you tell yourself are what are clearing out, are the illusions you're seeing. It's really allowing you to step into your power in a financial, material, abundant way. Very cool. Okay, let's get a last card. This is from the Inner Compass deck. So it's like a directional. It's like, what do you need to do? What is the verb here? What do you need to do right now or in this week when you see this reading? Me time. So, and we see this swirl on this card too. And I think it's just like with new moon weeks, what inspired this reading, it is very spacious, and it is a good time to kind of detach and step back and observe. And I feel like that's what that is referring to. Like, this is the perfect opportunity if you kind of give yourself space this week, step back and observe. You're going to see a pattern so clearly that you've been totally blind to, that has been something that's been plaguing you for a long time. And it's a self-sabotage pattern, and it has gotten in the way of like your limiting beliefs about yourself, especially around abundance and material life. Yeah, so that is your message. I hope this resonates. I hope it's helpful, and I'm wishing you all of the best this week. It's a really, big deal kind of message to get, and thing to sort of go through and get to the other side of. And it seems like really, I just keep looking at this card. The feeling of this card is what's on the other side of the week. So hang in there, and yeah. All right, if this resonated, I always appreciate, thumbs up, likes, shares, subscribe, comments. All those things help other people come here if you think other people would like it too. All right, I will see you guys in another reading. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your message from Spirit. We're just going to see what it wants to bring up, what it wants you to know about this coming, from whenever you watch it. The timeline for this reading feels like the coming week is when this message is relevant. So Kali is your card, the goddess. In this case, in this deck, they name her the goddess of liberation. I know she, has a lot of other stuff going on for her, but we're going to use that keyword as kind of the prompt here, as integral to the message coming through. And I have to say that when I put this card in frame, getting ready to, press record for this reading, the way the colors of this goddess and her background and stuff like meshed with the sort of backdrop I've got going on with the flowers, it just felt like really, it was like mysterious, but in this fresh, lush way. And so I do have this feeling that like whatever theme of liberation does come through, it's like helping you to liberate into something more fresh and luscious. So let's see a few more oracle cards so we can get a little more specific. What is liberation about in this coming week for you? It's very like magnetic and powerful. Those words are coming through. Magnetic, powerful, luscious, liberated. That one wants to come out. Anemone. Ethereal, compatibility, symbiosis. Oh, that's the mystery. It's like sometimes we don't always realize certain things around us that may seem like they don't fit or they don't resonate with you, that if you pay more close attention and you observe something more closely, there's actually some kind of symbiotic relationship that like in like indirect ways actually helps each ecosystem be more healthy and thriving. So there is something coming through here. I'm feeling it as like in the ecosystem of your life, there's something that has typically annoyed you or been something you've avoided. You're seeing the new value of, and in that new value, even though it's like an indirect value, it's really freeing up maybe some energy. It's freeing up like a sense of possibility by plugging. It's like something simple you're plugging in that you've always avoided or didn't really value before. And you see some kind of way it like clicks into the puzzle pieces of, you know, the system of your life that just like really frees up, you know, time or energy or possibility. Yeah, I don't know. It's very fascinating. Okay, let's get a modern Nirvana card. See what else wants to come through about this. Synthesis. Yes, we have symbiosis, synthesis. Something is combining, something is resystemizing, reorganizing, it's like refining, digesting, reintegrating, resysteming something. That it's like something gets integrated into your life that brings this new kind of flourishing, this new kind of thriving made possible. And I just get the sense that it's so simple and it's like it's been right in front of your face forever, but you've just never, you know, I mean, we all have those things that we don't, you know, we don't value something until we do, right? But something that if you were to value it and really take the time to notice it and observe it and recognize something's value, it would really make a huge difference in your life. So it's like, yeah, I don't know if this is kind of abstract at this point because I don't know if it's like your mindset, you know, just the way you value something in life generally that's a concept or more abstract, or if this is something really concrete and specific that you're kind of synthesizing and integrating into your life. Let's get an Earth Alchemy card and see if it gives us any more specificity here. Because it could very easily be just like the way you do things, or it could be something specific that plugs into your life that's really helpful. Crystal grid, create with intent and focus. I'm going to open up the book and just, I'm not going to read the whole description for this, but grid work, I mean, grid again, that's like seeing this bigger, more complicated picture and how things all, where there is this symbiotic, and like when you pay attention more sensitively to the ecosystems of things, there is like a greater refinement and efficiency and let's see, crystal grid. I have to find this in the contents because the way this book is organized does not make sense to me. Crystal grid 91, I think. Let's see. Focus. Oh, it's a short one, so I'll just read it. Create with intent. It's time to get creative with how you express yourself with your ideas and thoughts. Gather your crystals and create a crystal grid. It is a wonderful way to focus the healing intent of many stones with intent, and it will open up your creative channels. So something about synthesizing the ecosystem of your life, really liberating your creativity. Once you have decided on your intent for the grid, gather your crystals and ask which of them wish to support you in this. Many will jump into your hands or call your eyes attention. Those are the ones to work with. The great thing about crystal gridding is that they do not just have to be for your healing. They can be laid on the earth for her healing too. See this card as a prompt and a nudge to utilize your crystals' energies and combine them in a healing grid. I think this is a thing. I want to read this a little more abstractly because not everyone that comes to readings, works with crystals or uses crystals. So this to me is like there's something that you do need to utilize. It feels like a thing, like a tool, a process, another person, something that is like works like, you don't have to objectify like a person as a tool, but like the way they plug in and work in your life has sort of a tool effect, or it could be a literal, like a technological tool or a new process that helps to refine things. But there's some kind of helpful plug-in into your life, something that you're using or that is useful, that you will find in the next week to plug into your life, and it will like make the ecosystem around you feel more thriving, and it will bring up, like, unlock new creative potential. It will really liberate like creative potential. And it may just seem so simple, like, oh, this person is helpful in this way and they want to be helpful in this way, or this new tool I came across seems very simple and it could be helpful in this way. And then you start plugging that person in or using that tool, and all of a sudden it just like that explosion of potential. It just like, I don't know, it's like unlocks a key of all sorts of creative energy that's been underutilized, that's been locked away. But yeah, so it's, look at it like there's a key coming that just like plugs into your life, whether it's a person, place, or thing. Some kind of noun, person, place, thing type of thing is plugging into your life, or you see the value of plugging it into your life, and it really just re-synthesizes some kind of environment and unlocks and liberates all this creative potential. Okay. Well, that took a minute to kind of get to the source of what that was. It felt very abstract at first, but I think it makes sense now. Let's get some tarot cards to see what else we can channel about this. What does Spirit want you to know that has not really been, brought up yet? 7 of Emotions. You may be kind of confused right now. There might be, you might be listening to this and you're like, yeah, I can relate to that, but there's like a lot of those possibilities. I don't know what this is referring to, because maybe I'm just learning about project management tools, and so like I'm looking at all sorts of potential ways to do more training in project management. I'm looking at all sorts of platforms that help with, I'm just like exploring that realm in general, and there's a lot of useful things I haven't tapped into, but I don't really know where to start, so I don't know what this reading is referring to. I'm getting that energy where it's like, yeah, that vibe's around me, but I don't know the thing yet. And I think it's like keep digging with the 7 emotions. It's like look under the surface, do your due diligence, like really think. The way I'm feeling about this is like she's really observing. She's really, checking out each fish, checking out each option, kind of watching things. I think it's kind of like getting under the hood of stuff. Like how does this actually work? How would this plug into my life? How would this be actually useful and empowering? Just take some time, like, I know that's maybe not the answer you want, but the tarot is saying like there is a little effort on your part needed, but it will be so worth it, because look at that liberation that's on the other side of it. You'll, keep digging, keep looking under the hood of all of these possibilities and options. You'll find that right plug-in. The Fool, yeah, ooh. It's really gonna, whatever you find and whatever you do plug into your life, it's really gonna set you on a new course, a new, just that wholehearted yes to a new possibility that feels like, I keep going back to this coloring with your Kali goddess and the plant right next to her. It's just like something's going to be so magnetic when you find the right plug-in and you plug it in. You're just going to leap whole mind, body, soul towards this like new possibility. Really opening up not just a new way of liberating creativity, but like a new, that creative possibility that gets unleashed then just like magnetically draws you to a new path too, like an even bigger kind of thing. Okay. Three of Voices. You've probably been through some disappointments in however this relates to you. However you're listening to this and like, oh yeah, it feels resonant with this thing in my life or this aspect of my life, like whatever that is that this is feeling in relation to, whether it's work or relationships or home life or, community life, whatever it is, it's like you've had some hard times there. There have been some disappointments around this area of your life. And I think this is coming through to say, like, don't let that hold you back. Let it help you understand how, like when you have had disappointments and then you do find the thing that actually works, you value it that much more. You bring that much more grace and gratitude and, tenderness too, because you've seen the other side of the coin. And so this is like, don't hold yourself back. It's going to be a reversal of what you have experienced in this realm of your life. But know that what you have been through is something that gives you this like edge of valuing it that much more, of bringing a lot more depth and diplomacy and elegance to whatever this is, whatever area of life. And then Three of Emotions, soul tribe coming through here. So whatever this is about, whether it is about community or work, like it does feel more social in orientation here. So friendship groups, communities you're involved in, industries you're involved in, work life, those kinds of things. It's like whatever this is going forward, whatever you find that is helpful to plug in and like has you seeing whole new possibilities and leaping towards something new, it's like it is taking you towards like your soul tribe, your people. And Page of Materials, beautiful. So this could be doesn't have to be, but for a lot of you, this could be work. Just like new, and I love that coming up also with all of this creative potential coming through. It's like just new path of creativity that is fresh, refreshing, bringing you into circles that feel really resonant and aligned, and like your people and your place, and just feeling newly you and alive in who you are, and more embodied and more sensitive physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of it, just like really feeling fresh in your sense of self and in a direction. Very cool. Okay, we're going to do one last card. This is the Inner Compass deck to get kind of a directional for this week. So yeah, just a reminder, it's like by the end of a week's time, it's like you're going to be here. So my sense is like you're already kind of in what we talked about early at the start of this reading. And by the end of a week's time, you're going to be where we were just talking about, where you're starting to feel that magnetism of like soul type people, or people you really connect with, and they're like your kinds of people, and a fresh sense of yourself and purpose. Okay, so what is your directional this week with the inner compass cards? We've got harvest. That's beautiful. This is saying that like you do have everything you need at your disposal. You actually are like a very, it's funny because I was getting a lot of Virgo energy coming through in terms of talking about like systems and synthesis and symbiosis and ecosystems. It's like, I think that, you know, you don't have to be a Virgo. We all have every sign somewhere in our makeup and in our chart. But there is that, like, there is this Virgo element of you that is very productive, very skillful, very, you know, attentive to the details. And I do think you've done a really good job at systemizing something already, because it's saying, this directional is saying that you do have all the resources you need within reach to get the whatever this reading is talking about in order. So it's like you already have your systems, you already have like your purpose, you already have the know-how, but like what is it you can plug in that just, you know, liberates that creativity to a whole new level? Again, going back to that person, place, or thing, like, do you need to change places? Do you need to integrate another person? Do you need a tool? There's something there where it's like you have the rhythm, you have the purpose, but to really get an abundant harvest and get the most out of the harvest that you're good at creating, it's like there's still a plug-in needed. That you're gonna get to this week. And it's like, keep, you know, researching, observing, looking under the hood of the things that you're already looking at. I feel like you're already looking at the things right now. There's like options and choices, and it's like, which way do I go? And I can't do everything. And you're right, you can't do everything. So what is the thing? What is the plug-in that is the right plug-in here? Just you'll know when you know, but just do the work of like research and observing and getting under the hood of things. Yeah, so by the end of the week, you should be there if you put that work in, and it's really going to plug in that harvest abundance potential in your life in like a really fresh, alive, beautiful, soulful new way. So yeah, hopefully that resonated for you guys. It's an interesting reading. It felt like a journey to like really clarify what was coming through. So I hope I got it. Yeah, so if it did resonate, definitely leave a comment. I'd love to hear how it does, like what you're doing, what this means to you, or just simply you know, like, share, subscribe. It's always great too. So all right, good luck this week, and in a week's time, good luck with like, yeah, being in this kind of new, liberated, abundant, fresh soul tribe area. So, and work, you know, it feels like work and soul tribe, and yeah, and, you know, productive and abundant kind of stuff coming through by the end of the week. Okay, I will see you guys in future readings. Hello, beautiful pile 3. Welcome to your reading. We are just getting a simple message from Spirit, something it wants you to know for the coming week. So whenever you come to this reading, it's like that's the start of a week, and this message is something that should resonate and kind of be realized by the end of a week's time. And I had this kind of thing come through in reading too, and it came through here too, where it's like I put your goddess down next to, I have this new orchid plant that I wanted to integrate into the backdrop here. And so when I put your goddess down, it's like I immediately, in terms of like the visual and the aesthetic, got this like sense already. And it felt, compared to the first two piles, like this is the pile of something a little more kind of lighthearted and fun coming through. So the key word on this deck's Aphrodite is romantic love. Like Aphrodite can have, be more than that, but there is something with romantic love here. And I don't necessarily feel like that has to be with a person. We can have romantic love or feel very romantic towards life in general. Or all of a sudden, a flood of different romantic movies comes through your life that really turn something up in you. So it doesn't have to be a person, but it can. So if you came here and you are looking for love, then that is a good sign. But if you're not, if that's not really something on your mind or agenda, it might just be this more romantic vibe like coming out in the next week. It's funny, like the other two piles, there were like things, messages I feel like they needed to know to like kind of get through something to the other side of something. And I'm just feeling like a vibe check with this group, but we'll see what else comes in. Maybe I don't know. No, it feels accurate. Like this is a vibe. It's just like maybe telling you to like enjoy the vibe coming through. Like it's going to be just one of those weeks that's like lovely. So it's like relax into it, enjoy it kind of thing coming through. Like don't miss the opportunity to enjoy this week, because maybe the universe is giving you space and the right conditions where it's just like one of those magical weeks. And it's like, don't, because a lot of times we can be seeking other things or pushing at life or getting in our own way. And in hindsight, you're like, why didn't I just enjoy that time? Like I actually didn't really get anywhere with this agenda and that agenda that week. And I knew it because I was just like hitting my head against the wall. And I felt like the universe was saying, just like relax a bit. And I didn't. And I probably could have had a really great week if I wasn't so like focused on things that I just felt energetically were just like needed time anyway. And so I feel like if anything, it's like that, where it's like, if there's things you're pushing at and they're not happening, it's just like give them a little space and time and like ease up in life and enjoy the moment. Scallop, sight, wayfinding, and journeys. Yeah, I think that there is, I like the sight energy. It does speak to detaching from life a little. It's like hiking up the top of a mountaintop to get a view of things. You've detached from the hustle and bustle of being down in the valley, and you're alone on that mountaintop, and you're just getting a view of life, and that moment of like being able to step back and get a view of things. And that's what this feels like. It's like, it's not like telling you to take time out and not think about anything in your life. But it's like, don't push at the things in your life. Enjoy the spaciousness coming through. I think you are being given some space, like being put on a mountaintop on your own, but it should feel one half like a vacation and one half like observing and taking in the sight, so you can kind of see where you came from, hence where you are, hence where you want to go. But it's more of that, it's not that like effortful sort of putting the elbow grease into life. It's sort of that detached planning, thinking, like what is the next step type of stuff. Like let's step back, let's let life relax a little so I can see where I'm at. Let's have a little bit of fun so I can kind of recharge and feel new energy stirring. And then let's just kind of, observe and take in the big picture of life. So one part having fun and one part looking at the big picture and observing and just kind of taking it all in so you can kind of muse on your next steps kind of thing. But while you're doing that, relax into life. Enjoy maybe some conditions around you that are fortunate. At least like for you, they're fortunate, for whatever you tend to experience in life. There's something this week that's like a little bit more spacious and luscious and it's like lighten up a little bit, detach a little bit, look at things through your heart a little more. And if romance comes up, cherry on top. Okay, let's get a modern Nirvana card and see what this wants to add. Awareness. Yeah, totally. It's like contemplating, observing, becoming aware of where you've come from, where you are, where you want to go, aware of yourself, aware that there's spaciousness and beauty around you, aware of some more fortunate energy than you're used to in this week. Doesn't have to be anything grand, it's just like, I feel like the universe is giving me a little space and little treats and like little, just those little things that create a vibe, create a mood, an atmosphere that just feels, lovely and potentially literally romantic, or just figuratively kind of life feels romantic, Okay, let's get an Earth Alchemy card to finish off the oracle. Ooh, okay guys. Rose quartz and olive tree, alchemy of love, peace offerings, compassion, and Venus energy. So definitely if you are single and looking for love, or if you're with someone and you're just needing like a romantic week, it's like that is definitely in the cards if that's something you are seeking. But Venus energy in general, and that is Aphrodite, Aphrodite I think is the Greek and Venus is Roman version of Aphrodite. It is just like Venus Aphrodite energy. So it is just like having a heart that is swooning with life, everything looks beautiful. All of a sudden, all of your clothes are, looking better on you, or you were able to buy a few new things. But it is just like living through your heart and seeing everything more tenderly and beautifully and sensually, and like being able to feel things. And that makes sense if you do come to this reading when I put it out. It is Taurus season and Venus/Aphrodite rule this season, so that does like timing wise make a lot of sense. But also within that, because I was inspired to do this reading with a new moon energy. And that is like in a new moon week, we do get this opportunity, the universe tends to create spaciousness and a little bit of detachment so we can kind of, let go of the baggage and rejuvenate and find inspiration for something new. Inspiration really clicked when I said that. I do think it's a week where there should be some inspiration around you. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it just feels like meander through life with your heart with a lens of beauty, with a little bit of detached observation to kind of just become aware of like what's sort of phasing out and what are some new things that you're kind of interested in, and have your, you know, newly setting your sights on, but just in general, like enjoying a lusciousness in life. Yeah, okay. Let's get some tarot to see what wants to come through from these kinds of cards. Knight of Emotions. Totally like the poet, you know, like the romantic poet hero. Like knights being heroes, some of them are very brash and overbearing, but like impressive with their intelligence, and some have this spiritedness and they're, you know, athletic and brave, and then some are a little bit more grounded and responsible, and like the way they hero or be a knight is like being that steady, stable, consistent force. But the Knight of Emotions is like the poet that's you know, that's like raw and unleashed, and like they feel a lot, or like the actor that just feels a lot. You know, it's just like that artist that feels a lot, where it's not, you know, like some artists are more hermit or shy, but this is the one that like needs to put their heart into the world. So that might be someone that's around you, speaking of like romantic love, or that might be your energy, whichever resonates. Or it might just be that vibe where it's like, yes, everything is romantic and beautiful, and I just want to express things and, you know, be flowery about life, you know. There's just like a lot, you know. But it is an up energy, and I felt that at the first. There's something light here. I think it started getting a little, you know, into the spacious aspect of things and the planning and the awareness, but this is drawing us back in. But like, don't forget, it is this like light, fun, there is something flirty going on, the heart-centered flirty. Okay. Got a couple cards, Two of Emotions in reverse, Page of Emotions. Got a lot of emotions here, guys. Two of Emotions in reverse. I'm reading that more because of the context of what we've already seen. Reversals can be like either where you're stuck or where something's leaving, and Two of Emotions is like soulmate energy. But the context of this reading, there's a couple things, two things coming through. One, it could be that you're letting go of some baggage with someone who is a soulmate, and it's like recognizing and remembering and reconnecting to like, this is my soulmate though, like we need to both drop some petty stuff. The other read that is coming up, and I think it just sort of, you know, because multiple, you know, with collective readings, it's like there's different tones and colors that sometimes come through that it's worth defining because they're for different people. So if that doesn't resonate with you, the other thing coming through is that like this week is giving you a container and like a pause, like you're in a bubble and in a time out that feels like you are on another planet. It's like the rest of the world doesn't exist. You guys are in your own bubble world, and the rest of life is like shut out. So you may find yourself in that kind of situation. And then with the Page of Emotions too, it's like new feelings in your heart, new things you want to put your heart into, a variety of new things. It's just like really, I mean, we've got the spiral shell energy of creation with the Knight and the Horse. And then with the Page of Emotions, we've got this like youthful, fresh, new stuff coming through, new qualities coming through, but it's like tentacles, her shirt comes down and turns into octopus arms. And so like a lot of new things you want to entangle with and explore, and you know, just like that feeling of inspiration that's leading you in many different places. And it's interesting how the fishes on the Two of Emotions in reverse completely, it's like they completely follow through onto the Page of Emotions card. And the same fish carries through at exactly the same place where it would be going. And it just feels like, to me, it feels like whatever kind of love bubble you end up in brings a new spark to life in you emotionally, new sensitivity, new creativity. It's like exactly what you need to light up like a totally fresh view of how to put your heart into the world, all sorts of many different possibilities of creativity. It's just like turning your heart on in completely new, multifaceted ways where you want to explore a lot of different things, and it's just opening you up in new, fresh, exciting, creative ways. So it's like whatever this week, the bubble that you're given, this love, romantic, spacious, light bubble brings both romantic feelings towards life or towards another, some awareness, and it's just the rejuvenation you exactly need to just completely reignite from within and feel totally fresh, new heart and creative energy. Okay, let's get one or two more. Seven of Materials. So whatever it does kind of ignite for you by the week's end, it's like you'll have something you want to more, in a more grounded way, commit to, which is that Taurus energy. So Taurus is coming back. It's like this week allows you to, because Taurus is very pragmatic, even though there's the Venus energy, it is grounded, it's pragmatic. But I feel like this week you get to be a little more ethereal and emotional than Taurus is. And you may be coming here when it's not Taurus season at all. But just that energy is still coming through whenever you come here. It's like there is that Taurus undertone, but something about it lightens up and becomes more ethereal and more emotional in this week. But by the end of the week, it's like you drop back rejuvenated into Taurus, and there's something that you want to commit to and give time to and be in for the long haul and start planting, you know, like it's, you know, some project or path in your life. And this does look like a path, some new road in your life. You want to start planting new conditions that you know will take time to get there, but that you know you're so aligned with it that you're willing to be in it for the long haul. You're willing to be that gardener that makes sure everything is watered and fertilized and weeds pulled and the right sunlight, and, you know, making sure that no insects are infecting, or, you know, all that, the things you have to attend to get things from seed to flowering to fruiting to harvesting. It's like you're in it. You see the path, you see the work, you see the effort and dedication it will take, and it's like, yep, I'm there, I'm committed. Let's do this. Okay, one more card. Four of Inspiration. Yeah, that's like anchoring in a new order. And that feeling very celebratory and exciting and fresh, and something that's like a bit magnetic and draws people to you. So whatever, and this feels like the thing that you're wanting to anchor in is like a new order in your life that draws in that's cause for celebration. It's big enough that it's cause for celebration, and it's magnetic enough that it's drawing in, you know, community and drawing in other people that want to celebrate with you, whether that's drawing in new people or anchored people, but it is something that is like creating like a fresh sense of order in life, and really having that know-how of how to like initially anchor that in is like coming through immediately. Yes, it's still going to be a long road to get to the harvest aspect, but I know the order that needs to be there. I know how to like establish this, how to anchor it in and direct it, and that is my first step. And it is real, you know, like it feels real. It's like feels like something you can announce and celebrate and bring people together around. So yeah, that is very cool, and I wasn't expecting the reading to go there. I thought it was just going to be like vibe check and like enjoy the week, and yeah, there's this refreshed energy, but now this is saying, but you come out of the week with that new inspiration, that dedication, that focus and commitment, and knowing how to take that first step that really anchors it and is cause for celebration. Wow, okay. Let's get you a last card from the Inner Compass deck. It's like a directive. What is your specific directive for the week from Spirit? And ooh, it says many thanks, gratitude. Yes, Spirit is just, you know, like where we started with the vibe check. Like you are, this confirms to me, like you are being given space and beauty and, you know, just this energy of being in this beautiful bubble of life where you kind of have space to take things in, to be, you know, creative and sensual and potentially romantic with another, if not just about life. And it's like the more you say yes to it and show gratitude for it and feel thankful for it, the more you get, the more the universe is like, oh, that they're saying yes, so here's some more, and they're saying yes, and here's some more, you know, that kind of thing. So the more you show your thanks and gratitude, the more this kind of beautiful bubble of life this week makes itself more and more beautiful and more romantic feeling and heart opening and energizing and rejuvenating, and you know, just like in this kind of interesting bubble vibe of love and beauty and just, I don't know, it's like these, you know, sensations coming through that are hard to articulate because there's a lot of them. So I'm sure, I don't know, just what comes up in your own body when I'm saying this, like just let yourself feel things, be sensitive, let life be beautiful around you and, you know, envelop you in this bubble of beauty and just soak it in and say thanks for it and accept more and more of it until the week's over and you have that thing that you're like, okay, I know something really specific now and I need to get to work. So you'll know when that is. But it's probably about a week. So, all right, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Again, my eye is just drawn to this orchid and your Aphrodite, and it just feels so, just like so much beauty is coming and so much beauty is going to come out of it. So, all right, if this reading resonated, I always appreciate support. Likes, shares, subscribes are fabulous. It helps other people find this. So yeah, and I will see you guys in future readings. Have a beautiful week.